What's going on, y'all? It's Monty back with another episode of Reading with a Real Nigga. And today we getting into another one of Robert Greene's books. I think that's what I said. I don't know. But either way, we're getting into another bag on Robert Greene's book called The Art of Seduction. Maybe the sun was kind of in that one. The sun was still in that one. I don't know. But either way, y'all know I got to get the thumbnail part out of the way. And honestly, I haven't even been using, I feel kind of bad because I didn't use the thumbnail that my homie gave me because I guess the file size was too large or something like that. So I couldn't even do it. So I had to end up taking a screenshot of when I did that just to make my own thumbnail and put it up there. But either way, that's neither here nor there. In this book, Robert Greene is going to be teaching us how to get some butt. I can speak from personal experience and say this book does not work. I wanted to say that so bad. I had to say it. I was reading back through this book, and there's a couple things that kind of stand out to me a little bit. The way that he talks about like the seductive process, it's a means of finding someone who's, I guess you could say, emotionally damaged or damaged in some way, like traumatically. So basically, he's having you go out there and look for like damaged people and trying to fill the void. Which I don't think I'm necessarily a fan of unhealthy women anymore. So kind of redundant at this point, at least from my perspective. But hey, if anyone out there likes unhealthy women, this is going to tell you all about how to get them. But I'm going to put a spin on a lot of the things that he said, because obviously there's still good knowledge in here. But yeah, it's geared towards like people who are like missing something. But in a way, everybody's missing something in life. So he wants you to target that initially. But also there's another portion of this book, he uses the word victim a bit too much for my liking. He uses victim a bit too much for my liking, so I don't know if I'm gonna say victim or get or try to think of something else. I'd just be like, choose the right woman or something. But yeah, either way, I think he said victim just because it's kind of unisex. Because you can, I guess a woman can use this book as well, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, he starts the book off with a bunch of different archetypes of different types of lovers. I'm not gonna get into that because I don't really care for it. But if you get the book, you can look into those and see what they talking about. So the first part we about to get into right now is the first part of the seductive process, which is choose the right victim. The right victims are those whom you can fill a void, who see in you something exotic, isolated, or at least somewhat unhappy. So like I was saying, you're looking for someone who needs a void to be filled. Like there's a lot of people around here who are hurt, you know, there's a lot of people who are going through a lot of things, and he wanted you to find something that the person is yearning for and kind of be that. You take that however you want. I mean, you can apply that if you want, either way. But let's go more into some of the things that I highlighted. It says leave people who are inaccessible to you alone, and this is what makes me think about, like, bro, I learned this from the minorities. So if anyone knows the minorities, y'all know what I'm talking about. Choose the woman who chooses you, or choose the person who chooses you. Like so many dudes, I see like those videos sometimes where dudes be going up to women in public, and it's like, off rip, you can tell the girl doesn't want him. Like dog, and they're like, oh nah, bro, she just playing hard to get. Brother, she doesn't want you. It's so much easier. I don't get why. I mean, I think I do understand why, because it's just psychology. We want what we can't have. So whenever we have someone who feels as if they're like they want us, we don't really want it. But when there's someone who seems like detached from us or distanced from us, we want that person even more, because it's like we can't have them. But bro, you gotta realize that some of these women just don't want you. It don't matter who you are, you're not wanted. So choose the women who actually are choosing you. And I'm saying women, you can apply this to men, whatever, if there's a woman watching this. But either way, choose the people who are choosing you. If you gotta play games and jump through hoops to figure out whether or not someone is rocking with you, they're not rocking with you. It's really as simple as that. The second one they got in the second one that he has in the seductive process is create a false sense of security and approach indirectly. Nothing is more seductive than a sense of destiny. Lull the target into feeling secure and then strike. Make the target come to you. If in the opening stages you can make your targets think that they're the ones making the first approach, you have won the game. Be someone who people want. Be someone who people want. I can use a pretty much easy example. I can't say I'm proud of using the example, but Duke Dennis, brother, he's worked so hard to the point that he doesn't even have to like try to get women anymore. And it's not even the fact that he's worked so hard just to be an attractive person to women. No, he was working so hard on streaming and became famous, got money, kept himself in order, and now he's perceived as valuable. The perception of him is that he has a lot of value, you know. So that's why there's so many eyes on him, and that's why it's so easy for women to be quite literally throwing themselves at him. So become a person who has perceived value, or carry yourself in a way in which people are going to want to be with you. You know, if you're not, it's like what's his name, FitX Fearless is talking about. Looks maxing. You know, he's like, yo, bro, go to the gym, get your money right, like that. Keep your health in order. Be someone who grabs attention. Go to the gym, eat healthy, clear up your skin, yada yada yada. Be someone who people are going to want to be with, because honestly, you can tell whether or not you are attractive. Like, look at yourself in the mirror and be real with yourself and be like, yo, if I was a woman, or if you were a man, whatever, like if I was a woman, if I was a man, would I want to be with someone like me? And you're gonna know right away whether or not it's a yes or a no. And if it's a no, you got some work to do, dog. It's as simple as that. You got some work to do. I don't know what else to tell you. You got to put in some work. But you want to be someone who people are going to want to be with. And avoid the natural tendency to crowd your targets. Bro, so many people be so needy. So needy on and so dependent on another person. Be able to be, like I was saying, be your own person. Be able to be someone who's perceived as attractive to other people. But also be independent. Be your own. Be you. Don't have so much of a dependence on having someone else in your life, because they can leave in any moment. Focus on what you're doing, what you got going on, and everything else will come. I mean, I used to be one of the dudes who was, that was back in college days. Damn, that feels so crazy to say. Back in college, it was all about chasing tail, trying to get as much as we can, yada yada yada. But now it's just like, brother, just sit back and let it all come to you. Some people haven't grown out of that mentality of trying to chase after everything and just trying to get as much tail as possible. It's not my type of thing anymore. Number 3, send mixed signals. Be hard to figure out. Once they start embellishing your image with their fantasies, they are hooked. By sending mixed signals in that first encounter, you create a little surprise. This can tie into the 48 laws of power by saying less than necessary. Not showing all of your cards in the first encounter. You don't have to be so overexpressive when you first meet someone. You don't have to do this whole fancy type of thing, whatever. Just, dog, it's really should be simple to meet someone. You don't have to go all out, and in the beginning stages, don't even worry about doing all that. But one thing I definitely want to say is, because he's talking about sending mixed signals like consistently, you don't necessarily, I don't think you should continue doing that. But it can keep people entertained. To capture and hold attention, you need to show attributes that go against your physical appearance. This is something, I don't think I've gotten into this, but Robert Greene has talked about it before. It's like your dark side. We have a lot of natural tendencies that we feel as if we need to hide. We put on masks. We try to show that we're nice people and we're perfect people to everybody. Part of this is that you don't want to show that you're perfect. You don't want to be perfect. You don't want to always have to be nice. You don't always want to be, I'm the best partner for you, yada yada. Like, because people don't want that, because it's not authentic. No one is going to want you if they can smell on you that you're inauthentic. You don't have to try so hard to be something that you're not. So many dudes, they try to be like this knight in shining armor. I used to do it. Tried so hard to be this knight in shining armor when you really weren't. You can't upkeep that forever. It's like the people who lead with money who don't have money. The dudes who are trying to spend all this money on their girl, but then they realize, damn, I'm kind of broke. Like, just be yourself, but also be able to show those sides of you that people don't necessarily want to see, because it's still gonna garner some attention. when someone sees a side of you that they haven't seen before, it's like, it's a shock. It's a shock, but it's a little intriguing. Even if it's something they don't like, it's like, whoa, I never knew this person had that side to them. It's something that'll pique someone's interest. So don't be afraid to be yourself. Like, just be you. Don't try so hard to be something that you're not. Be authentic. And that can even apply to the social world. Just be you when you're out in public. Don't try so hard to be nice to everybody. Don't try so hard to just become a doormat to people. Like, be you. You know, you have some, if you are hiding some aggressive tendencies, show that sometimes. I mean, obviously there's a balance between where you need to, you know, hold that, but show your teeth. It's appear to be an object of desire. People gather around those who have already attracted interest. Be somebody who people are attracted to. Be a person who's garnering interest. People want to know more about you the more people they see already know about you. You know what I'm saying? Imagine a celebrity. You walk outside, people are like, "Oh, hey, that's so and so, that's him, yo, hey, whoa." People are gonna look around and be like, if they don't know who you are, they're like, "Who's that?" Now they intrigued. What does he do? What's he got going on? Or even at a lower whatever. Let's say you the dude at the gym who knows all the people in the gym. You saying hi to everybody, you dapping everybody up. People gonna look at you and be like, who? Why he know everybody? What's he? You know, if everyone's coming in and say hi to you, coming over, dapping you up, it's like, well, what about him? Why is everyone? You want to appear to be an object of desire, and that's what you're gonna do through working on yourself and being a person who's attractive to other people. You'll stand out. Take care of yourself. Pretty simple as that. Take care of yourself, brother. But another thing that he says in this is never mistake a person's appearance for reality. Stop being. It's becoming like a thing now where it's like, oh, the prettiest women are the worst people on the planet. And in some cases it is true. In some cases it's true, but we as men, we hold women who are pretty at such a high standard. Well, obviously because they hold themselves at a high standard. I mean, there's some beautiful women walking the planet. We pedestalize these women who are very attractive and like, oh, she's out of my league, yada yada yada, before we even know what her name is. We're just assuming she's the greatest thing since sliced bread. But then when you start to learn more about her, you're just like, oh, okay, you're nothing. You're just pretty. I mean, so don't be so caught up in the attractiveness of specific women. It doesn't. We're all people. And like I said, this goes both sides of the coin. So don't be so drawn by men who are attractive, because sometimes they can just be a piece of shit. You know, anyone can be a piece of shit. We're all humans. It doesn't matter how attractive you look. Don't be so caught up in what people look like. Learn who they are first. Who someone is should be more valuable than what a person looks like, because looks are always gonna fade. Before the seduction proceeds, you must place a mirror in front of them in which they glimpse that inner emptiness. So this is all about mirroring what you see from that person, so that person feels a lot more comfortable with you. When it comes to psychology, mirroring is something that can really draw people in, and if you use it, you can use it in a very manipulative way. Because whenever someone's mirroring you, it shows that they have interest in you. It shows that they are intrigued by what you're saying, they're intrigued by what you're doing, and they're intrigued by you generally. So if you're purposefully mimicking someone and mirroring their actions and behaviors, they're gonna think, oh, you're just like me. You know, we're one and the same. I've met someone who shares my pain, who shares my struggle. This person is the one for me. You start to understand who they are and what they need in their lives, and you believe that you show that you need the same thing, that you're looking for the same thing, but also at the same time you show that you can be that thing for them. It's a slippery slope. The next one is master the art of insinuation. The art of planting ideas in someone's minds by dropping elusive hints that take root days later. People resent your attempt to persuade them as if they were incapable of deciding by themselves, as if you knew better. Well, there's an example I'm thinking of. Speaking of the minorities again, it was, if anyone knows who the minorities are, it was Zeb. Zeb was at Zeb was at a Ferris wheel with this girl, and they're chilling in line, and she was like, oh my god, like the line is so long, like we're never gonna get on the Ferris wheel. And Zeb looked at her and he was like, oh, it's too long for you. That's insinuation right there. So it doesn't have to necessarily be things like that, but insinuating can help spark some more desire within people. So understand how to use that and be able to use it to your advantage. Number 8, create temptation, a glimpse of the pleasures to come. Selling them a dream. It's what a lot of dudes do when they're trying to lead a woman on. They'll sell them the dream of having like a relationship, of being together, but they don't necessarily want that. But it's a manipulation tactic. I'm not necessarily saying it's a good thing to use, but yeah, you give them a potent temptation tailored to their weakness. So whatever their weakness is that you have found and that you understand, show them that you can provide that to them, but don't actually plan on providing it. But also, this is good. One thing I didn't think about is that this is good to understand, so you know if someone is trying to manipulate you. So understanding these things, and that people may be doing these things not genuinely, not authentically, but just as a way to manipulate you. It's a good thing to actually understand these and notice when, okay, this person might be trying to like manipulate me. This person might be trying to just sell me a dream just to get me hooked. But some people don't have the knowledge to understand that. One thing he also says is keep the future gains vague and somewhat out of reach. Like I was saying, they don't plan on delivering the dream that they're selling you. They just want you to keep hearing it and keep listening. And that'll keep you entertained for as long as they need to. Number 9, this is actually a good one. Keep them in suspense. What happens next? But yeah, keeping them in suspense. One way I've implemented this myself, at least from now remembering it, is that whenever I'm bringing a girl on a date, I never tell her where we're going, and I keep that a consistent thing. Like if I'm dating someone, I'll never tell her where I'm taking her. We're just going. I'm just like, all right, be ready at this time, and I'll see you at this time. I'm gonna pick you up, and we're gonna go. You'd be like, oh, where am I going? Dress casual. It's like, oh, what is dress casual? You know, you can do anything when you're dressed casual for the most part. I mean, if I was saying like, oh, dress really nice, that limits the options a little bit. But if you're just like dress casual, and she's like, oh no, but I need to know. No, you won't know. And it's just little things like that can surprise someone. So figure out how you can implement that. Even if you wanted to implement what I just said, figure out how you can implement that into your game. 11. This is actually a really good one. Pay attention to detail. Pay attention to detail. Create spectacles to dazzle their eyes. Mesmerized by what they see, they will not notice what you're really up to. What I highlighted kind of diminished why I said this was a good thing. But pay attention to detail. So many people during dating, I feel as if they're trying to present themselves. They're trying to put it on a show for themselves and be like, oh, I'm this. This is why you should date me. Pay more attention to the other person. Let yourself be secondary. Focus on what the other person enjoys. Focus on if that person is actually going to be right for you. You know, they'll figure out you along the way. But if you really want to understand who you're talking to and who you're with, pay more attention to them. Always pay more attention to them whenever you're out dating in the dating world, because it's gonna be important. You know, a lot of people, they get into relationships with another person and they're just blindsided by something that happens, and it's like, you couldn't see these signs coming. There's a lot of things that happen in relationships that you definitely saw in the beginning portions, or you were either blissfully ignorant or you just chose to ignore it, or you didn't care enough at the moment. You're like, oh no, this is gonna be fine, whatever. Pay attention to that detail. It's like the red flags. Pay attention to a red flag. Everyone be trying to ignore the red flags and make it so, no, this person's perfect. Keep an eye on them red flags. Number 12, poeticize your presence. Remain elusive. Occupy their minds by alternating an exciting presence with a cool distance, exuberant moments followed by calculated absences. This one is one that I can actually agree with, because I mean, at least from personal experience, I used to be one of those people who would see a girl every day if I could, quite literally every day. And that was when I didn't really have much going on with my life. Like, I'm being blatantly honest, I didn't have much going on with my life, so that's why I had so much more time to spend with these women. And the more time you spend with someone, the more familiar they become, and the more bored you get with them. It's how life goes. I mean, it sounds crazy for me to say, but it's how life goes. The more you spend time around someone, the more you start to understand them, the more you know all their routines and everything they do, and the more it's just like, it starts to become less fun. But also, that's an opportunity for you to find other ways to enjoy their presence and for you to grow in a relationship. But at the same token, if you want to keep someone with you, if you want to keep that spark, as people are saying, you don't have to see the person all the time. Don't see the person all the time. And have enough going on in your own life in which you can't even see that person all the time. Because it's going to work benefits for you, because you're out here trying to make your life better. They're out there trying to make their life better. But then when you come together, you can make your relationship better. Don't focus so much on spending time with people all the time. You don't need to, for someone who likes you, you don't need to spend a lot of time with them. But when you are with them, like going back to the last one, pay attention to that detail. Be present in the moment. Be there. Like, when you have time with your person, be there with your person. Don't be anywhere else. Be there. Pay attention to that detail. Let those moments be big moments. Let those moments be filled with a lot of joy, a lot of happiness. And then when that distance comes, it's like, damn, I want to get to that again. And you're both excited for the next time that you're going to hang out. And it's eating at you, because it won't happen for a couple of days. It won't happen for like a week. It's going to eat at you. We're going to go over to 18. I realized that I didn't highlight like specific ones that I wanted to talk about. And I just been talking about all of them. So now I'm just going to do a couple of the ones that I personally, look into. Stir up the transgressive and the taboo. Making your targets feel that you are leading them past either kind of limit is immensely seductive. People yearn to explore their dark side. I was speaking about the dark side earlier. I mean, for some reason, I'm thinking of like when people have affairs. A lot of the intrigue around having an affair, or even when people are cheating, and I'm not condoning it at all. I do not condone being unfaithful to your partner. Either way, when people do it, I feel like a lot of the intrigue is centered around the fact that you shouldn't be doing it. It's taboo. It's something that makes people think, oh, what if we get caught? Oh, what if this happens? So it stirs up that feeling of, oh, there's something bad about this. So try to implement that in different ways in which you can into your game, in which you're doing something. I mean, maybe it could be as simple as going to like an abandoned place just to kick it. That sounds kind of crazy. Obviously do that with someone that you actually know, because I don't think at least any healthy woman is not going with you to an abandoned house for a date. Yeah. Master the art of the bold move. Yeah, here we go. Showing hesitation or awkwardness means you are thinking of yourself as opposed to being overwhelmed by the victim's charms. See? You're being selfish to yourself. Stop worrying about yourself. Worry about the other person. And it's all about making a bold move. Now, there's a limit. There's a limit on bold moves. Like, I hope everyone has the discernment to know what's a bold move and what is too much. So always be understanding of what can be too much. But some people really just don't get social cues at all. But you see, it's so hard to try to be like here teaching, I guess you could say, because it's just, I've assimilated a lot of the things that I do and a lot of things that I've read just into my nature and who I am. And that's what should be the goal for everybody. Assimilate it into who you actually are and let it be you, let it permeate. What do you get from each thing that you read, and what are you taking from it, and let that be part of you. Let it be you. But the bold move, a lot of guys, we can be, I can be. There was a girl that I was seeing, and I had seen her. We'd hung out maybe like 4 times, maybe 4, maybe 5 times, and I didn't kiss her any of the times that I saw her, because I was just nervous. And every time I left, I was pissed at myself. Every single time I was like, bro, I should have just went for it. So I wasn't practicing a bold move, you know. And probably at that point she was like, yeah, this guy probably doesn't like me, you know. I'm just gonna hit the high road. And that was the end of that. But that's the last thing that's the last thing I'm gonna get into on this book, The Art of Seduction. If you want to read that, get into it, go ahead and do what you think. But thank you for chilling here with me. Next book I'm gonna do is the last book that Robert Greene wrote, which is the 33 Strategies of War, which means I have to get a new prop for my camera. But I appreciate y'all chilling here with me, and I will see y'all soon.